Hello and a warm welcome to our special year-end Love Athletics show. During the year, we bring you the latest highlights from our sport with expert input from different continental areas. In this special edition, we have asked top athletes and media representatives to tell us what were their favorite athletics moments of 2025. Here are the responses from athletics lovers around the world. And of course, after Tokyo put up such a wonderful edition of the World Championships, we start with Japanese journalist Shun Yamamoto of Kyodo News.
Hi Anna, I'm Shun Yamamoto from Kyodo News in Japan. Thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity. As you know, the World Athletics Championship was held in Tokyo this year. I became the athletics reporter in 2022. Having covered Oregon, Budapest and Paris, I was so worried with Tokyo would be also full stadium. But once it started, it was a huge success from day one. I was so moved and I almost cried in the stadium. It was a special atmosphere where not only Japanese athletes, but all the athletes were cheered on too. I'll never forget the night when Duplantis set the world record. Even though it was late, so many fans stayed behind and the atmosphere became one of complete unity. Honestly, it was the hardest experience since I became a reporter, but it also became the most memorable experience. Thank you.
Arigatou gozaimasu, Shun. For me, Tokyo was also very, very special because I had worked at the 1991 edition of the World Championships. So to be back at the National Stadium for this fantastic event was a truly emotional moment. So thank you, Tokyo. Canadian photographer Claus Andersen was also in Tokyo 1991, but not only, because he has attended every single one of the 20 editions of the World Championships so far. Quite amazing. So let's hear what his favorite moments of the year were.
Hello everyone and Merry Christmas again. Anna, I'd firstly like to thank you and World Athletics for helping me achieve my career-long goal of 20 World Track and Field Championships, having photographed every one of them since the inception in 1983 in Helsinki. A remarkable achievement in my mind and one I'm very proud of. In regards to this year's World Track and Field Championships, I thought it was an amazing event in Tokyo. The organizers did a tremendous job in putting forward a fantastic event. There are so many wonderful performances. It's hard to pick one or two out of all the great performances there. In my mind, two women stand out in the 100 and 200. Melissa Jefferson Wooden and Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone in the 400 meters. Both ran outstanding performances. Melissa in the 100 ran 10:61, an unbelievable time, and obviously Sydney in the open 400 with the second fastest run in history. Both outstanding performers and both merit strong, how would you say, recognition for being the #1 athletes on the female side this year. In the men's side, I would say Mondo Duplantis in the pole vault stood out over everyone else because of his world record in the pole vault, which he has accomplished numerous times over the last few years. There were other outstanding athletes too that came to my mind. One of them was a young Australian performer named Gout, only 17 years old, and definitely has some similarities to a past superstar named Usain Bolt. Only being 17, he has got a huge career ahead of him, and I think we'll hear a lot from him in the future. As I mentioned, the women, Sydney McLaughlin holding the 400-meter title and accepting her performance after the event is over here. And also Melissa Jefferson in the 200-meter, crossing the finish line to win her second gold of the event. Obviously, there are other people as well. Yaroslava Manchukic in the women's high jump performed admirably considering the turmoil in her home country, and she was outstanding and is a real good role model for all Ukrainian athletes. I think she held up admirably, and when you look at this portrait of her, she even has blue and yellow makeup on her eyes for her flag. So very patriotic person and a very nice girl to photograph. Again, I think being the 20th World Championships is quite a proud achievement, and I'm truly humbled that I've been able to do this for so many years, and I don't believe anybody else has done 20 World Championships, but Anna, you would attest to that. So I think moving forward, I think that's a great achievement that I've accomplished, and I'm very proud of it. So thanks again for everyone, and have a happy holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you, Claus, for sharing those moments and the beautiful pictures you took in Japan. Now, of course, many chose memories from the Tokyo World Championships as their favorite moment. So it's time now to hear from the first of our top athletes, Spanish race walker María Pérez.
Momento favorito, es que es difícil. Me quedaría con la entrada a meta y lo que sucedió después, tanto del 35 como del 20.
Ok, así que entre las dos no vas a elegir una, el doblete.
Bueno, mira, me quedo con una. Cuando Antonella Palmisano, que no sé cómo entró al estadio a darme la bandera de España, es que no lo sé, porque con los nipones que son tan ordenados, no sé cómo hizo posible entrar al estadio.
Fantástico, gracias. Maria initially could not decide between her two triumphs, but then she chose a special moment. When her dear friend and competitor, Antonella Palmisano, who had to retire in the 20K, came to greet her at the finish line and bring her the Spanish flag. Now, how did Antonella manage it, wonders Maria, in the very orderly Japan? Spanish journalist María Vallejo is next, and guess what her favorite moment of the year was?
Ciao Anna, ciao a tutti. Io sono Maria, io sono giornalista spagnola, lavoro en Diario de Navarra, un giornale de Pamplona en España, y escribo de atletismo. Eso es todo lo que puedo hablaros en italiano porque todavía no sé mucho, estoy estudiando, pero a partir de ahora ya os voy a contar en castellano lo que me ha pedido Ana, que es elegir el momento más importante de este 2025 de atletismo, que ha dado tanto de sí. No lo he tenido difícil porque la figura del atletismo español en estos 2 últimos años, bueno, ya lleva muchos más, pero especialmente ha dado el gran salto al panorama mundial en estos 2 últimos años. Lo hizo en Roma y lo ha hecho este año en Tokio. En Roma pude verla, en Tokio fue de madrugada en televisión cuando pude disfrutar de María Pérez, que es la atleta a la que me estoy refiriendo. Esas 2 medallas de oro que consiguió en las 2 pruebas que participó en marcha y que elevó a España en el medallero, que no consiguió muchas más porque la tercera fue de Paul McGrath también en marcha, pero que eleva a María sin ninguna duda la categoría de mejor deportista española femenina del año, con esos 2 oros que pocos atletas pueden decir que han conseguido, solamente 4 en toda la historia. Conseguir repetir ese doblete en unos mundiales de atletismo. Lo consiguió en Tokio, lo vimos por la tele. Para mí fue muy especial porque la estuve viendo por la televisión, vi cómo compartía su alegría con los compañeros de la selección española de marcha, que la elevaban así en una foto súper bonita los 3 compañeros a ella, y me pareció un símbolo de igualdad y de respeto hacia la gran campeona, algo que solo se puede ver prácticamente en el atletismo. Por escribir sobre ello me gané unos cuantos cientos de comentarios negativos y absurdos en redes sociales, pero estoy muy orgullosa de haberlo hecho, de haber defendido a María. Y nada, es el momento que me quedo. Más que esos 2 oros, ver cómo sus compañeros de selección la elevaban a hombros como la gran campeona que es una chica humilde, sencilla y que todo el mundo la quiere. Así que me quedo con María Pérez como recuerdo de este 2025. ¡Chao, tutti!
Muchas gracias, Maria. Indeed, special to see the male race walkers who had competed the same morning wait for and celebrate María Pérez. So, let's hear now from the youngest medalist in Tokyo, 17-year-old Edmund Serem.
Okay, my best athletic moment in 2025 was me winning a bronze medal. I was very happy, I was excited. My first senior race and I won a bronze medal.
At 17 years old?
Yeah.
So,
that was my best moment.
And very important for Kenya.
Very important also.
You have such tradition in steeplechase,
Sure.
and now it's you bringing it back.
Sure. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The young Kenyan steeplechaser can quite rightly be very proud of his medal at the World Championships, but also of his really excellent season. So next up is Uruguayan journalist Andrés Cottini.
El momento más emotivo de este 2025 para el atletismo uruguayo fue sin dudas y creo que va a quedar marcado por mucho tiempo en los libros de historia de este deporte para nuestro país, la medalla de bronce que ganó Giulia en el Mundial de Mayores que se realizó en Tokio en septiembre pasado, que fue una noche de septiembre para nosotros muy especial, que fue entrada entre el cierre del día 14 de septiembre y el comienzo del 15, donde Giulia, para muchos desconocida todavía en nuestro país, para los que seguimos habitualmente el atletismo, un nombre nuevo de lo que estábamos aprendiendo a conocer, comenzó en esa maratón, en esos 42 kilómetros, 195 metros, a ganar espacio y ganar posiciones, y ya en los últimos kilómetros veíamos que estaba la chance intacta de meterse entre los 10 primeros, y después con el correr de la llegada de esa entrada al Estadio Nacional de Tokio y de una tercera posición que jamás hubiéramos soñado ni pensado antes de este Mundial de Tokio, todo el país pudo festejar a lo grande una gesta deportiva que hace muchísimo tiempo no se daba. Es la primera medalla histórica que tiene Uruguay a nivel de un mundial de mayores, si bien teníamos algunos antecedentes en mundiales de categorías juveniles, a nivel de mayores es la primera y se celebró muchísimo poniendo el atletismo en las portadas y en los inicios de los principales medios de comunicación de este país, algo que se valora mucho gracias a Giulia y el atletismo fue noticia de las buenas y de las importantes, y creo que va a ser un hito que va a quedar marcado por mucho tiempo, que generó una celebración y bueno, un conocer a Giulia, una excelente atleta que creo que nos va a seguir dando grandes alegrías.
What a wonderful performance by Giulia Paternine. And the best thing was the look of utter disbelief when she was told that she had actually placed third after crossing the finish line. That was a medal which generated huge enthusiasm for our sport in Uruguay and, of course, made history. Now, not all the favorite moments of 2025 came from the World Championships. Here, let's look at the video of Ethiopian-Canadian journalist Bizuayehu Wagaw, which he recorded when he took part in the Great Ethiopian Run 10 kilometers road race on 23 of November.
was founded by Haile Gebrselassie 25 years ago. On the elite side of the race, it has been useful to unearth upcoming Ethiopian athletes' talent. The race, which was won by established athletes in the first few editions, also served as a springboard for many emerging talents with its international 10K and other annual races, including the women's first 5K race. It's not necessarily a race for fast time due to altitude, but it is still very essential in the Ethiopian athletics competition ecosystem, meeting world road race standards. Among the men, Tsagaye Kebede, Azmero Bekele, Mosinet Geremo, Yunili Yadane, Birhanu Legese, Abe Gashaon, and Binyam Mahari. Among the women, Wite Ayalu, Nesane Gudeta, Fotian Tesfaye, Yalem Zerf Yohalau, and Sembere Teferi are athletes I remember who made their breakthrough by winning the Great Ethiopian Run events. On the mass race side, it is the biggest road race in Africa with over 50,000 participants. It is like an annual street festival where people can enjoy the streets of Addis Ababa, usually congested for over 2 hours for themselves, celebrating with physical activities. Some people run, some walk, some party and celebrate, stopping by about 10 music stations beside the running and walking. People look forward to this event every year because it has a carnival-like vibe and atmosphere. This year, the Great Ethiopian Run celebrated its 25th anniversary, and the World Athletics Heritage Plaque was awarded to it in the category of competition during a ceremony in Addis Ababa at the National Museum of Ethiopia, in the presence of the city mayor Adanecha Abebe and Haile Gebrselassie. Personally, I participated for the 9th time in person and enjoyed it well, even though I was a bit concerned about the altitude challenge. As I traveled from Toronto to run the race, it wasn't that difficult to achieve the targeted finishing time. Since I moved to Toronto in 2016, I have also participated in 3 Great Ethiopian Run virtual 10K races. This year, my wife Carol Fuchs and I ran the 25th race twice, as we participated in the virtual race in Toronto as well as the in-person race in Addis Ababa.
Thank you, Bizuayehu, for documenting your participation in this amazing race in Addis Ababa. Hearing all the runners singing before the start of the race really gives me goosebumps. Next one up is Italo-Czech journalist Giulia Nardova, who currently lives in Prague, but spent many years in Roma. And at the end of June in Madrid, her heart was certainly red, white and green.
My favorite athletics moment this year was the European Athletics Team Championship in Madrid. The exact moment when we won and the speaker said, "Italia, don't be shy." There was a roar. And in general, Azzurri's team performed very well. There were many personal bests. The mixed relay made the Italian record, and Scotti equaled the Italian record as well. And the penultimate jump of Via Pechino decreed the victory when we were still uncertain. It was my favorite. Moment because I was there in person, and it was wonderful to share the emotion with everyone.
Grazie, Giulia. It was indeed special for me too to be there to witness the Italian team repeating their European team championships triumph from 2 years earlier. So it's time now for more of our top stars, starting with Kenya's Emmanuel Wanyonyi.
I think it's world champion in Tokyo.
Of course.
Because it's the last race, it's the last event. I'm closing myself in Tokyo and I want gold. I'm so happy for that.
Especially because in Budapest, Arop had surprised you. So coming first in Tokyo was doubly important.
Yeah, because that's why I say I don't beat me in Tokyo because I don't have experience for 800 meters, but in Tokyo I come here prepared. I say let me try another tactics. So yeah.
Thank you. Next, we mix it up a little bit. Instead of speaking to Australian high jumper Nicola Olyslagers, the World Indoors and World Outdoors champion this year, we asked her husband, Rhys, what was his favourite moment of the year.
So it was definitely World Championships in Tokyo. When she cleared the 2 meters, she got off the bags and then just started torrential rain, and we didn't know how long it was going to be paused for, but the crowd, it was all really incredible, and to be able to be there, I couldn't be at Tokyo for the Olympics, I had to watch it at home, so to be able to be there with a crowd full of people was just very absolute highlight for sure. She was just in a whole new level. She'd been preparing for this, so there was such a level of attention and focus that even when the rain stopped and she didn't know how long, she just went back to her journal, she went back to her process, and I guarantee she was worshipping Jesus and praying and things like that for sure. But yeah, I think through it all, she's an incredible athlete, amazing champion, and she was focused until the very end for sure.
Back now to media representatives with Colombian journalist and photographer Julio César Sandoval.
Un cordial saludo a todos los seguidores de Love Athletics y gracias, Ana, por esta invitación, por tener en cuenta esta parte del mundo, a Sudamérica, en este especial de fin de año con los momentos más importantes en el mundo del atletismo. Sin duda que cuando hay unos Juegos Olímpicos o hay un campeonato mundial, pues los principales momentos se viven precisamente en esta competencia, como efectivamente ocurrió en el Campeonato Mundial de Tokio 2025. Allí quisimos separar 3 momentos muy especiales, uno para el mundo, uno para Sudamérica y uno para Colombia, por supuesto, no podemos dejar de lado nuestro país. Y el momento de Colombia más importante, no solamente en el Campeonato Mundial, sino en todo el año, sin duda. De hecho, ha servido para que Nataliya sea declarada la deportista del año en nuestro país por esa medalla de bronce que logró en el salto largo en el Campeonato Mundial de Tokio con su marca de 6.92, una medalla histórica para nuestro país, la 10ª, y creo que eso también marcó un hito importante para el atletismo colombiano y suramericano en una niña que viene haciendo un proceso deportivo desde las categorías inferiores, desde infantiles hasta los sub-18, sub-20, aún siendo sub-23. Creo que es una niña que se puede proyectar muy bien para los Olímpicos de Los Ángeles 2028. Bueno, y esa medalla tuvimos la fortuna de poderla registrar también, tanto en la competencia en el Estadio Nacional de Tokio, pues como por supuesto toda la celebración para nuestro país, y pudimos llevar esta noticia también para Sudamérica. El momento para Sudamérica precisamente consideramos que puede ser la medalla de bronce de Giulia, la uruguaya, una medalla importantísima en el maratón. De hecho, es la primera medalla de la historia para Sudamérica en la distancia de maratón para el caso de las mujeres, y la primera medalla de la historia para el país uruguayo en un campeonato mundial. Creo que eso marcó también un hito del año 2025. Recordemos que Giulia nació en México, tuvo sus inicios en el atletismo en Gran Bretaña y vive actualmente en Estados Unidos. Sus padres uruguayos, y pues ella compite desde enero de 2025 con este país suramericano, una medalla que sorprendió no solamente a Sudamérica sino a todo el mundo, porque en medio del lote de africanas que venían en punta, pues Paternain logró mantenerse, sobrepasar rivales en la parte final y llegar al Estadio Nacional de Tokio un poco confundida, porque de hecho no sabía exactamente si había sido medallista o no, ya no sabía qué puesto de lugar, y le dijeron que había sido tercera. Pues ahí entró en la emoción de Giulia Paternain, un momento que también pudimos registrar durante el recorrido y por supuesto también en la competencia en este Estadio Nacional de Tokio. Y el momento para el mundo, que fue el momento para el mundo en diferentes medios, por World Athletics, y creo que además fue declarado el mejor atleta del año, fue el récord mundial de Armand Duplantis, de Mondo Duplantis, también allí en una noche mágica en el Estadio Nacional de Tokio, cuando sobrepasa el listón en 6 metros 30, creo que eso no tiene precedentes en la historia, y todas las marcas que ha impuesto Armand Duplantis nos da para decir que no tiene límites este muchacho, que además, hay que decir, lo tuvimos en el Campeonato Mundial de Cali en la categoría sub-18, aquí en nuestro país estuvo compitiendo, pero pudimos registrar también este momento, y no solamente el momento del salto, la celebración y toda la camaradería que se creó en torno a esa mágica actuación de Armand Duplantis en el Estadio Nacional de Tokio, sino toda la celebración del público, cómo estaba el público buscando precisamente la marca porque tenían carteles diciendo récord mundial, querían ver ese récord mundial, la nube de fotógrafos y periodistas tratando de captar ese momento mágico. Y efectivamente también nos complace mucho contar para la historia que pudimos captar ese momento tanto de la celebración como de la competencia. Eso me marcará a mí como profesional, a Running Colombia, a Colombia porque pudimos estar en ese momento. Creo que esos son los momentos más especiales del 2025, precisamente en el Campeonato Mundial. Repetimos, entonces, la medalla de bronce de Nataliya Linares en el salto largo, la medalla de bronce también de Giulia Paternain en el maratón del Campeonato Mundial, la primera medalla de la historia para Sudamérica, y por supuesto el récord mundial con medalla de oro también incluida para Armand Duplantis. Creo que eso ha sido nuestro resumen, nuestro concepto de lo mejor del 2025 y que pudimos estar y vivirlo allí de primera mano.
Muchas gracias, Julio. Indeed, 3 wonderful moments. Nataliya Linares for Colombia, Giulia Paternain for South America, and Mondo Duplantis on a global level. And thank you so much for including your lovely photos, which really make the video come alive. Next, we spoke to Beijing 2008 Olympic heptathlon champion Nataliya Dobrynska, and she is also the former pentathlon indoor world record holder. Now, Nataliya has one very clear favorite moment of 2025.
I think the season 2025 was amazing because we had for the World Athletics Championship 8 world records, and one of them is Mondo Duplantis, and I have big honor to give the medal for him, and that's for me unbelievable moment, and I like every one of athletes and very appreciate it.
Thank you, Nataliya. Always wonderful speaking to you. Now, understandably, many people chose Mondo Duplantis as one of their favorite moments of the year. But what was Mondo's favorite moment?
I have a few to pick from, which I think is a really good thing that I'm happy about, but Stockholm was really special. Tokyo was also quite insane too, so it's pretty hard to pick from those two, but I'm really glad that I have both of them, so I don't even have to pick.
What are your thoughts on this 3 messages you had today?
I thought it was really special. I mean, you wouldn't really see that in any other sports, huh? Where you'd have your main competitors giving you the greeting and giving you the big congrats and message like that. So that was really cool, really special. I think something quite new and in a way it transcends sports, and I think it's really good for our event and our sport because I think it shows what we're about, and it's something that's a lot bigger than just sports and competition also.
Yes, you can understand it was difficult for Mondo to choose. World records at home in Stockholm, historic world record in Tokyo, but also the congratulatory messages he received from his competitors at the World Athletics Awards. Next, we have Chinese journalist Habeur Guo from Inner Mongolia, and his favorite moments are mainly from Tokyo, but not only.
2025 is a World Champion year. Also for Chinese athletes, it's a National Games year. So it's such a long season for Chinese athletes to compete almost 10 months. For me, although Mondo Duplantis and Sydney McLaughlin has won the Athlete of the Year, but actually we get used to it. It's predictable for Mondo to break the world record, for Sydney to win the 400 meters and make the all-time top list. But what's the impressive thing for me is the Melissa Jefferson in the World Championship won the 3 gold medal. Wow, that's really amazing because it's very difficult to make the US team for the champs. So when she makes the US team and also win the 3 gold medal, wow, that's really, really amazing. And we want to see it in Tokyo. Yeah. For some Chinese athletes, some legendary athletes have retired this year after the national games, such as Su Bingtian and Gong Lijiao. But we have some rising stars like Zhang Jiale and Zhao Jie. They make the podium in the championship for the, Zhang Jiale is the first time it's a U20 athletes. Also Yan Ziyi, although she can't compete in the championship or national games, but we see the potential things for Yan Ziyi. So for the Chinese women's thrower, I think it's the other rising star for the next period for the Los Angeles Olympic Games and Beijing World Championships. Yeah, we really want to see it. And for me, the most impressive thing in the national games is like Mo Jiadie. Mo Jiadie won her first Asian champs, title for the first time in her career in the Asian Championships, and also become the first woman to win the 4 medals in national games. It's the first woman in history, in Chinese history, to do that. So I think the Mo Jiadie is amazing and impressive athlete for me to remember. Also, like Shi Yuhao come back from the injury. We saw he compete from the 2018 and get the injury, and this year come back, won the bronze medal. That's really, really impressive and really, really, make me want to cry. Yeah, that's the most impressive thing in the 2025 season, I think, for me. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Guo. Young Chinese athletes definitely have a bright future, in particular throwers Zhang and Yan. Let's hear now from Sabastian Sawe, the winner of 2 marathon majors this year in London and Berlin, both of them just slightly above 2 hours 02. Now I just have one last question. I would like to ask you, this year, what was your favorite moment? You won 2 majors. So is there one in particular which is special for you? What is special for you this year?
I can say Berlin Marathon is the special moment for me this year. And then Berlin Marathon with all energy, and I was well prepared for it. And what comes, I was not expecting, but I was also ready for it because I was well prepared for the race, and it makes me to like it and be the moment. It will be a moment which I will for the condition and the performance.
It's funny, I thought maybe London because it was your first major, but Berlin is your favorite. Great. Thank you so much, Sabastian. What a great year for Sawe. 2 World Marathon Wager crowns and the title of World Athlete of the Year for out-of-stadium events. Now we move back to Tokyo with Ghanaian journalist Fentuo Tahiru, who tells us about his picks for favorite moments of the year.
So it's really difficult to pick a few, but I'm going to try anyway. And most of them came from the World Championships in Tokyo. I'm going to say Alphonse Simbu's victory in the men's marathon, the closest margin of victory a marathon has ever been decided, 0.03 seconds, and the first ever medal for Tanzania in track and field event. I think that was historic. It was dramatic, and the circumstances around which he won it and the manner in which he did it, I think was absolutely brilliant, and he certainly put his country on the map. And that's why it was a favorite moment. Another one would be the breakout star of Colin Kebenashipi of Botswana. I think at the World Championship, he definitely was, for me, the breakout star of that competition. He had aura, he had ambition, and he had some swag around the way he won it. He went into the men's 400 meters and completely rattled the whole field, surprised everybody, and won. And when many people began to think that that was probably a bit of a fluke performance, he went into the 4x4, and what a storming anchor leg he ran to overtake Rai Benjamin. Right at the end, he gave Botswana another gold medal in that particular relay. And the reason that's a standout moment for me is because going into the World Championship, I think undoubtedly, and rightly so, Botswana's starman was always Tiboho. But I think Colin Kebenashipi laid down the marker, and he has shown that he is the real new star of Botswana. And I'm very excited about how the 2026 season will unfold for him. I think another big moment would be Mondo 6.30. It's really it gets boring to talk about, and yet I think it's completely mind blowing. Very few, at least I think, since Usain Bolt can turn what is a predictable moment into a wow factor moment. Because I think Mondo, you just know that he's going to win, and yet for whatever reason he still manages to completely blow your mind away. And I will never forget that night under the bright lights of Tokyo when he made history, very similar to the night under the bright lights in Paris. And this guy, he just keeps on creating absolutely indelible memories in my mind when it comes to performances. What a proper global superstar. And I think big shouts have to go to Melissa Jefferson. I don't think that it's just a case of one performance, but I think what she did in Tokyo, the first American woman to go triple gold at the World Championship, never been done before. I think she doesn't get enough credit for that particular performance, and I think it's time for us to give her flowers. And I think, and it wasn't just the World Championship, the whole season from Grand Slam track to Prefontaine Classic, she had been running consistently for such a long time, and to crown it off in Tokyo the way she did was absolutely mind-blowing. And I think that performance will stick out as one of the big performances of 2025.
Thank you, Fentuo. Actually, the moments you quote were also very high on my own list, so I'm delighted that you chose them. And you're totally right. Mondo can make a predictable outcome. He can turn it into a magic moment. Now we move back to Latin America with Mexican journalist Katya López, who sent us this great video of a very special achievement for her country, whose impact did not end in Tokyo.
Dear friends at Love Athletics, I'm Katya López, a Mexican journalist, and I'm very grateful to Ana Ligani for allowing me to share with you my favorite moment of the 2025 season. It may seem obvious to choose the shot put competition at the Tokyo 25 World Athletics Championships, where Yusiel Munoz was in 4th place in the 5th round, and by the way, that was the most competitive round, as Ryan Crozier set the best mark of 22.34 meters, while Italy's Leonardo Fabri and New Zealand's Tom Walsh both achieved at 21.94. But in the 6th and final round, Yusiel Munoz entered the circle and threw at 21.97 meters, a personal best and national record, to win a historic silver medal. It was not only Mexico's first world medal in the men's shot put, it was also Latin America's first in this event. It was a special result, and I was fortunate to be close to Yusiel's coach, Alejandro Labardesque, during the final, which took place at the same time as the women's 10,000 meters, while the stands were divided, with some supporting Kenya and others supporting Ethiopia or Italy on the track. But when Yusiel made his last throw and we saw him move up from 4th to 2nd place, we all became a little bit Mexicans. Even some Italian friends went to congratulate Coach Labardesque. But the best came later. Yusiel won the State Sports Award in his homeland, Chihuahua, and a few days later, he and his coach, Alejandro Labardesque, received the National Sports Award, a trophy that the Mexican government has given every year for the past 50 years to the best of the season. Yusiel has become a benchmark in Mexican sports, and today his goal is to take Mexican shot put even further, as he is the first to break the 21-meter barrier, creating his own technical resources and now seeking to share them with new generations who will accompany our Mexico's canon. I think you can agree with me that Yusiel is even greater than a world medalist. He's an athlete who wants to change the history of track and field in Mexico. Thank you very much, dear Anna. Thank you, Love Athletics. I hope we can all enjoy a great season full of successful results and inspiring stories on the road to 2026, and continue to share our love for athletics.
Thank you so much, Kathy. Sport can have a huge resonance outside stadiums and arenas and really inspire so many. So now we move from a historic first for one country to a historic comeback for another. Let's hear from Kwame Laurence, sports journalist from Trinidad and Tobago.
My favorite moment in 2025 in athletics came at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, so Keyshawn Walcott winning gold in the men's javelin 13 years after his Olympic triumph, a surprise triumph at the London 2012 Games, certainly was huge for Trinidad and Tobago, huge for Keyshawn Walcott. Remember, Keyshawn is not only an Olympic champion, Pan American Games champion, Central American and Caribbean Games champion, he was a Commonwealth Games silver medalist. So the only medal that eluded him throughout his career was that World Championship medal. And when he finally got it, he got gold. So that was a huge moment for me, a huge moment for Trinidad and Tobago. And there was another moment that came about 90 minutes after Keyshawn's gold. Jereme Richards, who was Keyshawn's roommate in Tokyo, he got silver in the men's 400, national record 43.72 seconds from the difficult lane 2. So that combination of moments, Keyshawn and then his Tokyo 2025 roommate Jereme getting silver in the 400 meters, that would combine to make one huge moment for me, one huge moment for Trinidad and Tobago. And you know what? That was our best ever World Championship performance. Gold for Keyshawn, silver for Jereme Richards, 8 years after our last World Championship medal. So we broke an 8-year drought and we did it in fine style. Trinidad and Tobago, best ever World Championship performance, gold and silver at Tokyo 2025. That's my special moment for 25.
Thank you, Kwame. Great comeback indeed for Tokyo roommates Keyshawn and Jereme. So that was the last video from athletes and media representatives, but I would like to share with you 4 images that I find very special. The first is of 2 amazing ladies, Beatrice Chebet and Faith Kipyegon, celebrating together after winning gold and silver in the 5,000 meters in Tokyo. And what makes this special is the camaraderie, which is very obvious that the two share. I really love this photo. Fentuo mentioned the Tokyo World Championships men's marathon and the awesome photo finish finale. Third in that race was Italy's Elias Awani. What I love in this photo is the contrast. When competing, Awani shows all his grit and determination, but once the race is over, he is again the polite, soft-spoken young man. Elias explained in Tokyo that the durag he wears during racing helps this transformation. When I wear the durag, I have to go hard. It's like the gladiator's helmet. Next picture is of U.S. shot putter Chase Jackson in Kechao, the day of the second Diamond League meeting in China. Maybe it struck me because I'm fascinated by dragons, but I love how she chose to pay homage to the host country with her red dragon makeup. And finally, the last photo is of British hurdler Lina Nielsen training in the spectacular Stadio dei Marmi before the Rome leg of the Diamond League. The marble statues are amazing. Valerie Allman made sure she found all the discus throwers and provide a wonderful backdrop, making it the most stunning stadium on the circuit. So that concludes our special year-end edition of Love Athletics, the Favorite Moments 2025 show. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back with a regular program in mid-January, just after the World Cross Country Championships. In the meantime, we wish everyone peaceful holiday season, a good rest if you can, and a great start to the new year, hoping it will usher in another fabulous year of athletics. Bye everyone, take care.